go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Well, all good things have come to an end. Well, new beginnings are about to start. A new chapter of Formula 1 2022 is here. It is the SwiftX Series 2, Round 1, powered by the NordVPN, the fastest VPN on the planet. Jasper ten Haken has wrapped up the Series 1 by just 1 point over Emar Durkovic. Emar Durkovic will not be driving today. Jasper ten Haken will, along with a lot of the other gladiators, are going to make their way around in Saudi Arabia in this Jeddah circuit there with 27 of those amazing corners. My apologies about that. Very long circuit, the second longest in the Formula 1 calendar. Not much of an elevation change, but certainly those walls can come out and bite you and not. And this evening, I am the Dean Biggles, and live with me will be, for the very first time, would be Mr. Scruffy on the comms. They're replacing Ben now this season. G'day, Scruffy.
Hello. Hello, hello.
Got through that one. A little rusty, of course. We're in the off-season, but here we go. It's time to go. Well, qualifying session is upon us right now.
Precisely. And we are currently on board with the Mercedes of Mr. Wilkerson, or Casson, or pronunciations.
Mr. Wilkerson, yes. Outlaps. All soft tyres, I believe. Usually we're going to see that during qualifying sessions. Nobody really gambles too much, do they? You don't. Or intermediate tyres out there in chat. Hello, welcome everybody. Epic Melon Fruit, please win Cause Guard. Please win Max from Noah. We are missing some of the drivers. It would be a little slow to turn up here, or they didn't get their passport to check time. Perhaps in Saudi Arabia.
Here comes Wilkerson starting the first lap. This will be the flying lap just to get started on this qualifying session through the first couple of corners. No invalidation so far, although that is incredibly easy to invalidate, as, to be fair, quite a lot of Jeddahs. Quite easy to invalidate, especially in the section that's coming up right now. You take it a tiny bit too fast, you will go wide, and that is what I mean. Right, proof of point. It's incredibly difficult to hold that corner at a reasonable amount of speed.
Yes, you got it, Calder. Who else would you like to go on board with? You can give us a lap guide around here, actually, because let's go.
Yeah, I mean, currently
Luke.
Joshua. Oh, I was going to say Joshua Bashford is getting quite around the similar point, but we'll go with Luke. So Luke is currently going through the. Well, that's obviously going to be a purple sector, coming round into the final section of the track. It's an immensely fast track, Jeddah. It's a track I love, to be honest, for that reason. We do have yellow flags for some reason. I think someone managed to spin it into a wall. I hope not. As we yep, there is debris on the track just there. As we come onto the final straight, we're going to have a lap set. The 128.1. Now, is that quick? We will find out. Well, there's Lapalainen. going in second. It's only 1/10 off of that time. It's a very difficult track to actually give a track guide of because it is literally just fast. That's the best way I could describe Jeddah.
Well, Thomas is going a bit faster. You're right. Go ahead.
Yep, it's basically how many guts do you have is probably Jeddah in a nutshell. As Thomas goes round into that corner, that was incredibly planted. Heading into the final sector of the track. Subaru and Bob with Thomas Hardwick currently heading round to the final corner, which they did widen. And they, I believe, added to the game as that widened point. It's going round onto the final track. So he's currently on a 125, 6, 7. It's not quite going to be up on the top spot, but it's still pretty close. And there's definitely improvements to be made. Wilkerson on another invalidated lap.
0.3 off. Yeah, exactly. Go down to P9. Some new names in here at the moment. We have Jan Chef. I said Jan Chef before. And see how you go on the driver in P8. It's how you go pronouncing that driver's name there for.
Yeah. Niels Schäffner, I believe.
Niels Schäffner.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Of course, no, it's for me. Yep.
Yeah. It's an okay one to pronounce. So who have we got currently out there setting a lap? I believe Peter Lucker's about to run on to their first flying lap into the first corner. That's a close exit from the McLaren of the pit lane as you go round into this first very, very fast section of the track. That's also very difficult to get right without invalidating. It is basically setup. You've got to get the right setup here because otherwise you will just run slightly over the track markings. And I mean, people say the game's unforgiving at the best of times, let alone at Jeddah. And that is a fastest first sector according to the track map. Now, the track map is not always the most reliable thing in the world, so I currently have sort of
the telemetry that we have currently up at the screen there's a little bit delayed currently at the moment, Peter, because you can see it's showing the right sectors, but it's based off that telemetry, so we can't actually see if it is the quickest, but it's looking quick visually.
It's definitely quick. I mean, it's incredibly close to the walls. The thing with Jeddah is there's no margin for error, so you really have to push it right next to the barriers to even have a chance of... You can shave off...
There it is.
Tenths across the lap.
So it's 1/10. Yep. Just 1/10 quicker than everybody else. So, and that's quicker than Luke's time, as you can see on the very right-hand side. What do you reckon about now? Final sector. Tricky one, isn't it? Well, final corner.
Exactly. It's a 122. 25 was about here, so he's definitely a good tenth. Is he going to hit above? Yes, he is by a tenth.
Gets it done. Good job.
It's, you sort of get used to having to predict where their lap time is going to cross the line over time. But yeah, that is a very good lap. First driver into the sub 128, but only just. The question is, can anyone else actually best that?
Well, as a championship leader from last season by 1 point, remember, Jasper Ten Haken. But Jasper had told me in his garage a little bit earlier, he said, Biggles, I'm going to go bold and brave. I'm not going racing line this season. So he's got no racing line on.
Not bad. It's quick considering no racing line.
Yeah. So he said he did say he was going to be a bit slower, but hey, this is a great thing. You've got a whole season here. And speaking of the whole season, real quick, let's have a look at that calendar, my friend. Because that's where we're starting, round 1 right here, as you can see, Saudi Arabia. And then we've got, if you were familiar with last season, but we'll go to another Azerbaijan, we'll go to Hungary, Portugal. Then you have a bit of a breather, a week off, we have a week break, and then you go to the next 4 rounds. You have a week break, the next 4 rounds, the next 4 rounds, finish in Abu Dhabi.
Is that a week break or is that 2?
Yeah, you might have to check those dates specifically, but I just try to go off what it was
last.
First
to the 15th, I think it's a 2-week break between rounds, which would make sense.
Back to the action. Yeah.
Absolutely. So currently I am having a look at Niels Schäffner running a lap.
Yep, let's have a look at
Not
Niels.
too sure. Yeah, that's a 102. Unfortunately, it's not giving me the sector timings. I'll have to try and find that on the timing table.
It's not as well, yeah. I got some of it up here. He's currently showing it's a little bit off. It looks like a German driver at the moment. It's got a personal best first and second sector, but not enough to put him at the top of the timesheets just yet. We'll see what his first lap is. He hasn't got his driver name in there, unfortunately, so we're going to have to leave that
my
one.
team telemetry crashed, unfortunately.
Let's have a look at Niels. Niels.
He's past the line with 2.8 seconds.
Yeah.
Oof. Now, Will Castle obviously had invalidated their previous laps. Someone's very angry on your end of the mic, apparently.
In this country, people like to make noise. Put it that
Just
way.
all the time.
Oh, Will's fastest in the first sector.
Wow, that is actually... I mean, that's the thing. A driver can be invalidating a few laps, but they're pushing to the absolute limit. And that's sometimes what it is. I mean, he's made it through one of the hardest sectors to get corners nailed in. He's just got to absolutely nail this corner. That's the fastest second according to the game, and I'd assume the fastest according to your timing.
Absolutely, it is. Purple sector 1, purple sector 2. So it's
that
going to be
has
looking
got-
good. How much of a time do you think he's going to shave off here? I think he
We'll
might
see
get
at the
about
line.
2/10, 3/10 maybe.
Yeah, we'll see at the edge of these hoardings. He's coming out the final corner. So he's at a 1:23.20. This is quick. This will be up there, definitely. Blimey. Yep, you were pretty much spot on. 2/10.
27.7 on his dial. There's only a couple of drivers in the 27 club. It's himself there and Peter. So look at that. Little bit of a swing moment there. In happy of his celebration of his, perhaps, the pole position time. It's certainly the time to beat currently at the moment.
Whoa, Zaytu Lapanainen. Jumps up by almost a tenth over that.
Wow. E2.
That's out of nowhere. I
does.
literally just jumped on the watch, and that's out of nowhere.
Yeah, he only stole the first sector. The purple sector's one, and then second sector, third sector. Of course, you don't need to have all purple sectors. It's an average. But he got it done and snuck it in there and took that one away. Who else? Have a look. Joshua, of course. One of the bosses that put the league on. Should we follow Joshua around the track a little
Yes.
bit? Why not?
They are currently faster. I don't know whether that's by their previous lap. By 6/10.
Listen to the McLaren purr.
Now, where are they going to be? Coming out of this final corner and on to that straight. 21, 22, 24 at the purple line is... Yeah, so that is a little bit slower. Not too sure how close that's going to be. That is 10th. Just about a second off.
That's a big spread, I'd have to say, so far, but I guess it's the jittery, isn't it, of the too much Christmas puddings,
yeah.
do you think, from a lot of the drivers over the break, and they're
Yeah,
a little rusty?
too much Christmas pud.
And they'll get back into it, of course, as we got many rounds to go. What about Thomas Hardwick? He's on a flying lap currently at the moment, too, with about 6 minutes change to go left of our first qualifying session of the year.
He's up by 0.086 on his current lap, so at the moment he won't improve by too much. However, that would put him up into 7th.
Right there, I just got 20 thousandths of a second, just slower than E2's time.
Wow. So it's going to be close. And Chris is not moving slowly by any means. Go come around. The final corner is also where you can lose everything.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it? It's all about getting that power down as early as possible.
This
You're
is
going to make your
quick
way
as
up
well.
8th gear. It's going to be very, very quick, of course. Let's see. Bang,
Whoa!
P2. 27 thousandths. That was only about just, what, 30? He was 20 thousandths of a second slower, and he ended up being about 30 thousandths of a second slower. And, of course, that's our live timing, brought to you by NordVPN, the fastest VPN on the planet.
And it very much is. I can attest. I've used it.
I use it all the time. I had to use it actually to watch the World Cup that we were talking about a little bit earlier in the off season. That's the only way I could watch it here. Otherwise, I could watch it, but with Spanish casters, and I wouldn't understand what they're even talking about.
Unless they shout goal. In which
Yeah,
case,
they do
fairly
that
easy
very
to
well, of
understand.
course. They're very good at making noise in Latin America, as you just heard before. What about anybody else making noise on track? This will be now coming back in your pit road, isn't it, Scruffy? And then get ready for your final run.
Just keeping an eye on anyone who's running a lap and who may be up. Just keeping an eye on Luke Temblinker. Whoa, tapping the wall.
There's Luke. Yep, P6.
I'm just watching for when they cross the timing line because that will at least give an idea. It's been a second now. And that's up by a 10th. And that's the fastest sector, so they're not far away from the lead. And if they hold this, they'll definitely be pushing very, very close to it. It's just keeping it together in that final corner. Because you can have the fastest lap in the world, but you can lose it all at the end.
Absolutely, you're going to get all three sectors nailed right, don't you? Not just one.
Exactly, because the first two sectors are very, very quick already. And this is going to be quick. How much quicker, though? Not very.
Showed the 10th off, yeah. I mean,
Lost
it's
a
improvement.
lot of the time.
So that showcases a battle royale, isn't it, between the top three, all separated by, what, 100,000ths of a second, if I'm not mistaken? Well, down
Lars
to
is up by 0.2.
Let's go to the McLaren driver of Lars.
Yeah, Lars up by 0.2, just coming around the final corner. Going to be the next driver to cross the line. There's 21, 22, 23, 24, just going to be off, I think, but he's coming into the
Boxing.
pits. Wasn't exactly a slow lap either, though, so he must have...
Is it
I'd
just to
run
get
out to
the fresh boots, I'd say, to get ready for a final run? That's what that would be. That's why you would abandon that lap. On board with Maximum Kloss now, he's going to be... I like he's in a red car. I was speaking, we were speaking in the green room before about a red wine here. It's called Kloss. And he's in a red Ving wine car, right? The Ferrari, of course. But this car is actually very, very bright if you see it in person. It's not as deep red wine as what it looks on screen.
So we are going to have to now keep an eye on the drivers, figure out who is actually on lap.
Maxi started a lap right now.
Yep.
So keeping on the Ferrari. A sole Ferrari so far on the grid. We might have drivers come and join us during the race as everybody has their lives, their regular lives to do. Of course, the race will be a little bit later after our qualifying, after a bit of a pause.
Taking all of the track on the right there. I've never seen drivers use that much of the track on driving, especially on Jeddah.
Oh, I love it. Those walls take no prisoners. It's great
Mick
if you
Schumacher
nail it,
found that
and
out.
it's horrible if you nail it all wrong. Look at that.
Yeah.
Driving.
Mick Schumacher found that out the hard way. Not going to forget that crash anytime soon.
He's about 0.3 slower than E2's time currently at the moment, so he's got a bit of time to find. What do you reckon he'd be trying to target? P4 at best, maybe, if we can hook this up.
I mean, top 5. Top 5 would be a good jump right now, because 7th to the top 5 would be good. The thing is, whether he's faster than that McLaren ahead of him or not is another question, because he could come up against it. And I think that's Lars on an outlap. And he is going to. Because there it is. The main question is, this could really scuff at the end of his lap, but I really hope it doesn't. He's moved out of the way.
Ooh.
On a blind corner, which was a very interesting tactic to park effectively close to the racing line.
This is what's caught real F1 drivers off, isn't it? The traffic situation, of course, because they are blind corners. It goes up into P5.
improvement. Improvement,
Yeah.
but by, what, 100th of a second, 200ths of a second?
Who else would you like to look at, seeing you're new to the league there, Scruffy? We'll give you the ability to choose the cameras and some of the
Just having a jump
drivers.
through. Just to see where everyone is, so...
And by the way, you'll be operating cameras, I believe, for the virtual GP.
Well,
on
at
the
some point,
weekend.
I don't... Yeah. It'll be an interesting one, that one. But yeah,
So-
let's have a quick look.
Korsgaard's going to be on his final sector now. We'll see.
Stop Korsgaard, yep.
Alpine driver can
Up
improve.
by 2.5 tenths. So this will be very interesting. Now, I'd assume that is on their previous lap, of course, because there are seconds. That would put them in the top 10. Absolutely. So this is going to be quicker. And it puts them into 7th and actually bumps Maximilian Kloss down.
But we're going to go right now to the Aston Martin of E2 Lapalainen, who did set the fastest first sector. Hasn't updated the timing there currently at the
Here we
moment.
go.
but it should in a second.
There's the line. Paul faster by 2.5 tenths.
Yes. Flying.
Whoa.
James
mad.
Bond style in the Aston Martin E2 Lapalainen, of course. He is finish. And to finish first you have to be finish. There you go. You know, I've got the ones coming E2.
Yes. Oh, just tapping the wall. Which loses precious, well, milliseconds, but there we go. Cementing that position at the top a little bit more than it was. However, I have just noticed Will Cusson has just set the fastest second sector.
Got replaced by Luke Franklin, his teammate, which we go on board with the Mercedes. Actually got replaced by Lars further back at P9. But we'll commit to one of these Mercs first.
Yep, commit to Luke. Well, Will's about to go across the line. It's going to be close. Will they improve? Yes, they will, up into the top position. Luke coming up to the line.
I think Luke might have him.
Also
He does.
jumps into the top position. Then we have Lars
Oh,
up into
there's
fourth.
Lars.
Luke has been slowed down. Gustav Korsgaard coming round the final corner way off the time, which locks out effectively the front five.
I'd say that's it. Yep, nobody else is improving on their time, and look at that.
No.
What a Mercedes domination. We thought the Mercedes were having their porpoising issues, but that's all been resolved at the moment. Toto Wolff, if we could go to the camera to Toto Wolff right now, he's not throwing those Bose headphones around. He's praising them, he's kissing them, and he's kissing both of his drivers, of course, as they've done it. They've secured the front row of our first race for season 2 here at Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
That is an impressive one too, especially at the death, effectively. Right at the last second.
Brilliant job from both of them. E2 lap line, you thought had it for some time. He actually has the fastest first sector. Fast second sector went to Lars. Fast third sector went to Luke. So it's like a fruity machine, my friend. They all get a little bit of the purples.
But it proves that it is completely about averages. But anyway, here is the top. Well, here's the grid at the very least. Luke Franklin in first, Will Castle in second, A2 Lapadailan in third, Lars in fourth, Thomas Harbeck in fifth, Peter Locker in sixth, Luke Tenbrinker in seventh, Gustav Korsgaard in eighth, Maximilian Kloss in ninth, and Jasper Tenhagen rounding out your top 10, followed by Joshua Basford, Jan Schief, and Niels Schäffner in 13th.
Absolutely, not too bad. 12. The German drivers need to improve. The Alfa Romeos, of course, as the Alfa Romeos and Alfa. Look at that. Alfa Tauris, P5 and P6 there. Was the Mercedes. And the McLaren drivers splitting it out a little bit there. The Williams team duo. Of course, the Alpine. Let's go to see if we can grab a real quick for a driver to have a chat to, of course. Any of those fantastic job that Luke Franklin did to put that Mercedes Silver Bullet on pole. Let's see if we can get a chat to them in a second. That's what we usually do, because that's what you would pull the drivers aside after your qualifying performance. They are available.
Oh, it's migrating host because I assume people are leaving.
Yeah, because we have now that qualifying session is over. We will get ready for a short intermission break and then get ready for the main event. Just check with them. They're scruffy. Go and grab them by the scruff of the neck if you need to, and pull them. Maybe, of course. See if we can get Luke in here for a chat.
Yeah, there's Luke. Let's see if I can grab Luke. 1 second.
We do have Will in the cool down room, so probably grab Will, I guess, first. Will seems
Yeah,
like he's
that
ready
works.
to have a chat to us.
Incoming.
All right, actually I have them both, so we'll pull them both in there.
Yeah, I'll drag them up. Right, 3, 2, 1.
All right, welcome, gentlemen, both of you. Mercedes lockout. I'll let Scruffy there call the interviews.
Yeah, so basically at the death, both of you, to be honest. We were commentating on both. Just, I believe it was Will. I think it was Will who went across the line first, and then Luke shortly afterwards, just jumping right up into the top. But yeah, it's basically just how much did you actually have to push to get that out in the last lap?
Well, Luke had to push a lot. I didn't. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Yeah, kind of a fair amount. I mean, there was a few mistakes on the lap. I'm sure probably Luke had the same. It's never going to be perfect, but nothing combined practice we have over the last 4 weeks is about 2 hours. So pretty pleased to be 1 and 2.
Were you guys running like a slipstream? Because obviously there was a lot of cars on track. Was that a plan? Because you were very close together, obviously. Was that something, a part of your plan there, to gain a couple of extra kilometers per hour?
There was no intention. I think me and Cass still kind of do our own thing. It just was coincidental that we were kind of near each other.
Yeah, coincidence that he got all of the nice toe behind me.
Something like that.
So that's Luke. You just heard that. You might have to boost your microphone a little bit if you can there, Luke, because I got you cranked at a maximum 200. And yeah, so what's the plan for the strategy going into this first race? Are you guys going to be looking at similar tire strategy there, or are you going to run a different strategy?
Strategy is yeet into turn 1, cause as much damage to Luke's car as possible, and run away and win the race. So hopefully, the plan comes to action and all goes well. Otherwise, we'll probably both be dead.
Expecting safety cars around here?
Yes, with turn 1, yeah. With
Luke in the wall, then 100% early safety car.
Confident.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think there definitely will be safety cars. It's a tight track, fast flowing, so there'll definitely be a few people in the wall, I'm sure.
So you're going to slow down if you guys are both leading into the first couple of laps and the safety car gets called so that you don't double stack?
I mean, we'll see what happens.
Luke, remind me what happened last race in Jeddah last season. What was it that was it final lap P2 going for the win? Back marker facing the wrong way, crash.
Yep,
Just leave
I
that in your head.
remember it.
Just leave
Remember
that
it
there
so
for
well.
food for thought.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you very much, guys. It seems to me, Scruffy, that the team inter-war battle is already occurring, isn't it, on the first first round of the season? And why not? Because everybody's 0 scoreboard, so you don't have to be a number 1, number 2 driver at the moment. Everybody's trying to be a number 1 driver, and nobody wants to be the number 2 driver.
Yeah, that's what we let Cass think.
Excellent, guys.
Right.
We'll let you get ready and pre-prepared for the race, of course. So give Toto a big hug from us up here in the casting box.
We will.
Yeah,
And good luck in the race.
thank you very much. Hopefully see you after the race.
There you go. Yeah, hopefully. Of course. Right, Scruffy, welcome along to your first casting for the SwiftX, of course, Series 2 now, round 1, sponsored by NordVPN. Also, just want to shout out that other sponsor real quick there, of course, that we'd mentioned there earlier. Emar Dokovic, maybe Emar Dokovic.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Is that eShop Nordic?
eShop Nordic. Exactly.
eShop Nordic, yes. They're not quite ready to sell just yet, I believe. However, they will be selling, I believe, iPhone cases and products of similar type. Every time you buy a product, they will plant a tree, so they are being eco-friendly, because that's always good.
Absolutely. Yeah, plenty
Not
of trees.
personally planting a tree. They won't be going out and buying a field and personally planting every single tree, but they do partner with a company to do so.
That's what you like to see. We'll talk a little bit more about that one. We'll go into a little bit of a break, of course, and get ready for the racing action back very shortly. Presented by NordVPN.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
Lay beats, this go crazy.
I hate you, drama.
VPN Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Last season, it was round 3 of the championship. This season, it's round 1, heralding the beginning of a whole new set of races. Our drivers will be battling it out to see who can get some early points in the bag here at the Jeddah Corniche circuit. 25 laps down around this 3.83 mile circuit. Somehow there are more corners on this track than any other one on the Formula 1 calendar, with 27, 16 to the left and 11 to the right. It also just happens to be the second longest in. For the formation lap, alongside Biggles. in the commentary box.
Hopefully, thank you very much. I might have muted you and not muted you and unmuted you during that segment. So even though you prepared all those notes there, Scruffy, sorry about
it's fine.
that one, my friend. But there you are at the moment. Biggles and the Scruffster are at it.
Absolutely.
The Australian and UK powerhouse, waiting for those drivers to load in, of course. Well, yeah, it was an exciting qualifying session. Very, very close at the top of the timesheets, was it? And then a bit of a spread further back down.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that is the thing with Jeddah as a track. It is incredibly fast-paced. It's incredibly quick. As I say, it's got the most corners on the track. It's got more corners than any other one on the Formula 1 calendar, which I still don't know how that's possible for such a fast track. It's like, but the point is, like, I guess a slalom-style corner set still counts as 3 different corners. Like, that's the thing. Even though it isn't technically, it is technically.
Well, just real quick there, while we're waiting, we can actually check out that calendar information to see what NordVPN is going to bring us this season. What's your favourite track at the moment? Is we're going to head to Baku, Hungary, and Portugal after this. Any particular favourites that you have in this whole grid there of 16 tracks?
If we're working on the first 4, I honestly think Azerbaijan and Portugal are possibly 2 of my favourite tracks. And I do like Baku, because as much as it's a really tight track and as much as it's really, really dangerous, especially in the castle section, it is a lot of fun to watch, especially if you've got good drivers going around the track. Portimao is just an interesting track in general. Like, I personally nicknamed it the roller coaster, because it feels like one when you're driving it. It really does, that top section on the hill.
It's kind of reminds you a little bit of Brands Hatch, doesn't it, with the elevation changes?
Yeah.
That's what we do miss, unfortunately, with some of the new tracks in Formula 1, because as you know with Miami, as you know with this track and stuff like that, and what we're going to get in Las Vegas too, is that there's not much of our elevation changes. You used to have the classics like Spa.
They're more show races.
Yeah.
Which is sad, but makes sense.
I mean, Singapore got away with that one. We're going to go for a formation lap in a second, but Singapore got away with it, of course, because being the first night race. Let's go live to the track.
Closer to the start of the race. Which team will come out on top? Who's got their strategies right for today's race? Well, we'll see.
It is Alex Jacks. Did have that one. I think it's probably from mine.
I hear Crofty.
Because it's
the grid. The drivers will be hoping to get a strong start.
Yep. Well, I'm glad yours has the right one.
Yeah. You can choose that, obviously. I choose Alex.
Always choose Alex.
Are all in place.
And here we go.
Predictions out there in the chat. Anybody? Yeah, this league's not washed at the moment. It's the first race of the season. It generally gets a little bit like that. Why don't you worry about that? Hang in there. We've got plenty of races to go. Ema is not racing, unfortunately, so we won't be able to smoke him all this season. He finished runner-up to Jasper Ten Haken.
Here we go. Now we wait to see if the camera actually switches round to the front shot.
Yeah, I hope so.
It does. As they get the cars ready, letting those engines roar, waiting for the start of the race. We are underway for the first race of the season. The Mercedes getting a great start. The Alpine in the middle of the grid getting an even better start. 3 wide into the first corner. The Mercedes have all got through. The McLaren battling with the Alpha Tauri. There's a little bit of contact at the back of the grid between the Aston Martin, the McLaren, and the Alpine, the Williams behind. But everyone seems to have got through fairly cleanly, which is impressive for Jeddah. As we're still going around some of the harder parts of the track. That was an immense dive by the Aston Martin on the McLaren. Eetu Lapalainen making an absolutely brilliant dive. I'm not even sure they gained places off that. But for now, everyone seems to be locking into that lovely, lovely train that we always see just after the start.
Yeah, Peter Locke at the moment there, and both Thomas, they've dropped a couple of places. You can see a gain there from Luke Brinkle. No changes at the top 3.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But there was some definite, well, there would have been a track limits for a couple of people there, but there was some definite drama. This McLaren is getting very, very close to the back of Lapalainen. But I will say Lapalainen is catching very, very quickly to the car of Will Casson. So this is going to be very, very close. Whoa, Anton Larsen getting an exceptional boost out of that corner. Quite honestly, if there'd been space, that would have actually been an overtake opportunity on Lapalainen, but they are going to go around into the first corner. They're still very, very close. That's the top 6.
Ooh,
and
that's contact.
A bit of a bump. That has pushed the car of Anton Larsen off the line, and there will probably be some stewards looking at that one, because it did cause Larson to drop off the racing line and lose quite a fair few positions there. Because we've got a lot of positions changing. The Alpha Tauri of Peter Locker going down through on Luke Ten Blinker. Making that move look relatively easy, but not going to be... Oh, no! That's not nice. Sorry, I have to say that how it is, Biggles. That was just a dive bomb.
Christmas puddings, isn't that a little bit too much? But then you expect it. It's been, in an off season, so a bit of rust in the tailpipe. Is Lenny Cook making some positions up at the moment there because he didn't get any qualifying done, but Lenny Cook making his way past the new German driver and up into P9.
And that wasn't me saying there was any intent. Just to clear that up, I'm just saying it was a bit of a late dive bomb break. But yes, anyway, as we move on, we do have the top three starting to gap out a little bit. Thomas Hardwick is catching up with the back end of his teammate, Peter Locker. And they do switch positions. That was really nice teamwork from the two of them.
I was going to say, because I thought there's no tyre strategy difference between them. They're both in the mediums, so just elected to go who's the faster car, and you go through and see if you can catch, because he's outside that DRS range, of course, from E2 that's currently running in P3 now.
Exactly, as I'm going to just make sure that my team telemetry is not lagging. It is not. Lovely.
From the back, Joshua Bashwood looked like he's lining up there. He's got the better tyre, as you know, the mediums, and making a run there on Gustav. Korsgaard's in the pit lane. Might have had damage, mate. I'd have to say that early.
I mean, yeah, given the shunt on the rear right of the car, I think that was Gustav, wasn't it?
Yeah, let's have a look.
So it's very likely to be having... No, just changing tyres. That's... Unless, of course, they came in expecting them to change the wing. We do have McLaren of Larson in, who is having a front wing change.
That's Larson. Yep, you're right. Correctly in P14, getting a front wing change that you mentioned. And Luke also as well. But further back, another switcheroo between both of the AlphaTauris. So what's happening there? Maybe getting ready to exchange some of that DRS between each other. ERS management, of course. Maximum Kloss at the moment getting past there. So that's the Ferrari past the junior Ferrari team. Really
good teamwork for the AlphaTauris. If Thomas Hardwick had, I think, just spun or had a very, very big slide, because that gap has gone from very, very close to not close at all.
They're going to get on with it. Now, here's Jasper Ten Hacker, of course, our champion of Series 1. He's got Joshua Bashford up the road, but Jasper Ten Hacker, unfortunately, has a penalty of 3 seconds already served next to his name.
And I will mention that we do have an in-game warning in place by the looks for Maximilian Kloss. So they will have to be a little bit careful. And same with Will Cass and give it a corner cut, as well as Anton Larson. So there'll be one to watch out. That is a big overspeed. I assume the ERS is being utilised to the full. But then the McLaren has also decided to use the ERS. That is going to be very, very close. The Williams runs incredibly wide, and I'm not entirely sure they intended to.
No, I don't think so. Caught off the speed difference with the DRS too. It is enabled on this lap, but not as easy as what it was. This is the reason why too, just to let everybody know, the Asperton Hacken is elected not to turn the racing line on this season, so he's not using it. And that means that's probably caught him off guard a little bit, isn't it? Peter Locke's, really running slow there now.
Potentially.
Has he lost any M plates? No, look, attached.
No. He might have honestly just gone wide. It's very easy to do. So I'm just going to quick check.
Saw a little bit of exchange here. That means now
someone
still...
in the pits.
Yeah, Guskaard.
Luke Ten Blinker is in the pits having a wing change. So I think what may have happened, as I was going to mention it before, is they may have gone into the pits, tried to change their wing. The mechanics didn't get that call in time. They changed the tyres, but not the wing.
They Ferrari'd Strategy's car, unfortunately. Was that too
Ferrari
soon?
strategies and Williams. And Williams are normally quite good at the strategies.
That's true.
It's unfortunately just the slow car.
Welcome
we do
along,
have the current drivers at the front.
Series 2, Round 1, Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, sponsored by NordVPN, the fastest of all your VPNs, the fastest cars at the moment. You can see the top three as Thomas Hardwick actually goes faster in P4, but he's 3 seconds to change down the road from this battle. What about E2? Because you got both those Mercedes can really work together, can't they? And hold them off. And we'll go further back to Jasper.
And
Lenny Cook got past Jasper. There he is.
The thing with The thing with Jasper, even if he takes positions back, he's got a 3-second time penalty.
But those early days, you wouldn't let that worry too much about that scruffy
No.
because, you know, you can pick them up. Well, not as easy as, say, Austria. This track is to get penalties, but penalties are still penalties.
But this is well known for having multiple penalties at the same time. So you'll go wide and they'll give you 2 warnings.
Yeah, and some of those will get steward perhaps fixed later on after the race. Especially early in the race, if you get an early penalty like that, just means you're running off the road there probably to avoid a collision.
Yeah. I mean, that even happens in real life, people getting penalties.
I mean, because you got to remember, three laps or so in before he got a penalty like that. I mean, that's corner cutting, you'd have to say, with the warnings 3 times, and you didn't have that many laps, so that's probably gone too far off track. Anyway.
Yeah. It'll have likely been dodging someone.
E2, what can he do at the moment? That even rhymes. I'm a poet that even know it. But what can he do about those Mercs? Because the Mercs can block. You know how difficult it is to overtake one car here. One thing to catch, another thing to overtake. But you got to try to get both here. And they can do that little, essentially like a legal blocking maneuver, isn't it? Like just put your car in the wrong place. But go back to Letty Cook and Josh Bashford.
They are practically wheel to wheel down the main straight. It's going to be close. I think Letty Cook's just going to have the edge going into the corner. But the McLaren's still going to be alongside. And that was a little bit of contact. I'm not sure who that would have been on. That would have been very much a racing incident, in my opinion.
If it's not bumping and grinding, it's not racing and driving, as they'd say. It brings Jasper into play as well, just lurking in the background, looking at that. Also the DRS range.
Absolutely. There's sort of small battles starting to emerge. Those Mercedes are right on each other, which means, of course, they're getting the tow. They can continuously pull away with the DRS. And there is a yellow flag at Sector 1. That's a car round. Are we going to see anything? We're not. It is moving. That someone's just DNF'd. That's going to be a potential. They've DNF'd in the pits.
Oh, it's a pit lane retirement then.
Now, let's hope that does not.
No safety car, because it's a pit lane retirement.
They've deemed another yellow. Here it comes. Is the AI going to start rolling the car out the pits? That's the main question. Sometimes happens. It's still a thing. These Mercedes are right on the back end of each other.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, I really hope
just yet.
Oh, there we go. It's gone. Lovely.
Now, Will is E2's just on the bubble of the DRS. Now, Will, happy to say here, we spoke to the drivers obviously in the cool down room after their qualifying performance. It seems to me that there is no number 1 driver. You heard that, didn't you, there, Scruffy? There's no number 1 between this team. So it's race on, according to Toto, down there in the Mercedes garage.
Which I like. I was actually saying this about Hamilton and Russell before the race. It's like, I like the fact that they're letting them just race because they respect each other and therefore they can race. That's the thing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we want to see. But it's bringing E2 back into play now. So he was outside that 1 second. He's back in it. You can see him just lurking in the background there. So if you do think, okay, if you're on the radio right now, Will's saying, look, Luke, you're a little bit slower than me, as drivers do. Would they allow the switcheroo? Because remember, they're still wanting to get that 1-2, but the problem is they've got to hold off this man right here, of E2 Lapalainen. And that's the key for the team, if you're working together as a team first.
You've got Jan Chief in the pit lane. Wing change.
Yeah, back out, I think, in P13. You're right. First round of pit stops. When would you start to expect those medium runners to start coming? Go to Joshua Bashford at the moment. On the back there of Lenny Cook. Lenny Cook, remember, just turned up. He wasn't here for the qualifying. He's here for the race. I mean, gaining some places already, too. He started in P11. Currently, P14, running in P5. Lenny Cook's back at it again.
Absolutely. It's the main question of figuring out these pit stops. I'd say probably pitting lap 12 to 14. But it depends. It completely depends on how far they want to push it. So we have got Joshua Bashford making a move. Potentially on Lenny Cook. That is a wishful thinking move. At least he's not waiting. Is he waiting? No. But he did. He let him past.
He's allowed him through, yeah.
Brilliant. That's what you love to see.
It's great sportsmanship. Yeah.
Brilliant sportsmanship.
It's a mind-bad situation, isn't it? And then
yeah. It's good to see people actually letting people back through. Even if you have just lost the person a couple of places, Just the small thing, like letting them back through, is the tiny bit of sportsmanship there.
Oh!
Woohoo! That's just a spin.
That's Peter going around, exactly. I don't think there was
Yep.
anything to do with any contact there. That was just Pete getting a little bit too gritty in the lad pedal. Yeah, you will
so
see the
here's-
sportsmanship, my friend, here at the SwiftX series. You will see that. That's a good thing
Oh, that's
about this
excellent.
series. It's great that they do that. And we all have those moments. You're a race driver, you know that. You just accidentally just a little bit too deep in the brakes. And remember,
Yeah.
some drivers are trying new things out. They're not testing those extra tools. There is, this is a big boy club. No traction control and all that. Some of the drivers are turning off the racing line. Some of the drivers are using cockpit views rather than T-cams. Trying different things also means you're venturing into new territory that makes it a little bit more dangerous if you're driving.
What a shot that is on stream.
Absolutely
Wow.
fantastic, isn't it? You get that.
Whoa.
If you get that helicopter camera angle, thank Cody's. I'm not skipping it because it always looks beautiful.
Such a good shot. And they've added that recently. That is definitely not old. That is something they've added recently. Same as they've added the really low front cam on this. They've added the really low front cam on the left side of the wings.
And
it occasionally pops
have,
up.
my friend. Well, we've been broadcasting this game for years now, and I still, believe it or not, even to today, I still see some random camera angles I've never seen before in my life, and that's not even an update.
Oh, no.
Peter's out.
Now, is that in? No, it's a retirement in the pit lane.
Oh yeah,
But now we have to hope that we don't get the pit lane glitch. That's hope.
It's probably what it was, is that Pete just had too much damage. Remember, too, they are on a heavy damage model, so usually too much rear wing damage and underfloor damage. It's pretty much undrivable.
Ooh, that's going to be a warning.
What can
Joshua
E2 do
Bashford.
here? They're on a similar strategy. Let's have a look. Thomas
I mean-
is 3 seconds and change down the road there on the medium tires, and he's doing a little bit slower laps, 32.7.
I mean, if we're looking at pitting anywhere on lap 12 to 14, they're probably going to be joining about 9th place.
Further back to Ferrari driver of Max. Now, is this a crossover point? He's starting to catch the back there of Joshua. Joshua is on the medium tires, and Max is on the hard tires, so that would be getting close to that crossover point. Tire difference change.
Could be.
Drivers
Very
were
much
expecting go ahead.
Nope, sorry, carry on.
I said drivers were expecting a safety car, but so far, we're about a third of the way through the race, no safety car, so that might be throwing some of that strategy out the door.
Absolutely. Drivers getting very, very close in 2 sections now. First is the front 3. Second is 6th, 7th, and 8th. The car of Maximilian Kloss getting very close to the car in front.
Oh, there's the puns coming thick and
Looking at the
fast. You're
pun.
going to get a few of them
Oh,
this
yeah.
season. Welcome along, Scruffy, to the casting box.
Hey, gotta have the puns. But it's purely just because that was a slide by Joshua Bashford there. I saw a bit of a slide through that corner. So
Yeah, so that means tyres, right, as you mentioned, they're starting to fall off the cliff a little bit. Let's see if Max
more
is
laps,
well aware
I'd say
of
we're
it.
at that.
He's following him, so we'll go on board with the Ferrari and have a look.
he's definitely faster.
Let us know if the
Like-
audio levels are good out there. Sometimes those cars are a little louder when we're on board with them, but you're right. You can see it. You're a race driver there, Scruffy. What do you think? He's definitely got the traction
Oh, he's
now.
quicker. You can see him catching up now because A, the DRS, but B, will he make the move? No, that is the smart decision because that is not an overtaking opportunity. He's got another DRS zone to make this work, and he's already faster than him even before the DRS was activated. So that's just there's the gorgeous shot again.
Yeah.
As they come round into the punter corner, and that is Maximilian Kloss past Joshua Bashford. And that's purely the tyres. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing drivers pitting
Good call.
in the next couple of laps.
Right, we'll see about that at the top of the timesheets at the moment. Thomas is dropping a little bit of time down. That goes to show you. He was within 3 or so seconds to of E2 when Thomas is running in P4, and now he's dropped back to about 4 seconds. He's lapping 132.5's E2 on the last lap at 32.2. So E2 was a little bit quicker than the race leaders. Unfortunately, one thing to catch, another thing to overtake, isn't it? Like, what can he do? Alternative strategy? Think he should box undercut, overcut here?
I think with the Mercs it's difficult because you've got 2 drivers out. Personally, I would pit one. Because first of all, you can't double stack. Like, it's very difficult to double stack, especially if you're that close. There's no way they're going to do it. I think honestly pitting the second driver is probably going to be the smarter choice.
Now that's going to be up to the team, isn't it? Because as we mentioned we heard them in the cool down room from the qualifying. They're probably going to chat together, but they've got to be in agreement, don't they? Who wants to jump first?
Oh yeah.
And depending on what you want, Toto's Corsguard's getting a penalty. So those penalties are starting to come in, as you mentioned. We'll worry a little bit later about that. I'll start showing those penalties so you can
there's
start
the first driver in the pits, Thomas Hardwick.
crunching. All right, let's go. Thank you very much for calling that one. Here's Tom in. Make sure you hit the braking mark.
Yep, there is glitches with that. He's coming in for the hard tyres. So we'll likely be going for a stint all the way to the end.
No enters. Not around here, my friends, because it's all dry. There's a little bit of cloud cover coming in about 30 minutes' time, but I don't think it's going to do anything at all.
That's the first driver in the pits and the only driver in the pits for now. On lap 12, which was the first of the 2 laps I said would have a window. Laps 12 to 14-ish.
Nothing gets past
So,
Scruffy.
Well,
Scruffy. That's it. That's right. We're calling you Scruffy, my friend.
It's Scruffy.
It's Scruffy and Crofty all mixed in one voice. Welcome along, my friend, to SwiftX, sponsored by NordVPN. And you use NordVPN. I remember we were speaking about that before.
Exactly.
Race leader, Luke Franklin. I'm probably right now on the radio looking at calling. They don't have to come in yet, as you know. The medium drivers will. Medium tyre runners will. So we saw the first.
Yeah, I'd expect to see Jasper in this lap. I'd be amazed if they didn't. I mean, if they come in now, they'll probably rejoin what? Well, probably only just in front of Niels, to be honest.
He's got 13 seconds down the road there from just E2 lap alone, and he's currently 14.8 seconds off the race leader. We know a pit stop around here is, what, 23 seconds, give or take?
Yeah, so it's very likely to come out in 8th or 9th.
Yeah. Joshua also...
We're going to see now whether he jumps in.
Yeah, this is the key. No. Well, yep, you did. You're right on the cue.
Lenny Cook will probably come in, as well as Maximilian potentially will go past. Then you have the McLaren behind him, Joshua Bashford coming into the pit, and no one else behind.
You called it.
So here we go. Jasper coming into the pits for hard tyres. Hard tyres on the Aston, hard tyres on the McLaren.
And they're going to come in exactly the way that they peeled in. They're going to peel back out in those positions gained. So good pit stops from those drivers as well. As the Niels comes in as well. Yeah.
Now they are going to be switching to probably hards. That'd be amazing if they switch to mediums. Yep, hards.
Hit your pit box perfectly.
Front wing change.
Yeah, you know, just a little scrape on the walls, doesn't it? Take a couple of end plates off. I don't always see it, but the drivers can feel it. Unless it's too bad, right? You don't bother changing it. It's probably just a lime green. I'll tell you what, right now, E2 Lapalainen, they're on board with it because we have that telemetry software, of course, up here. He's got lime green damage on his front wing. Did you notice that?
I did not. Because mine's crashed again.
10%. And his tyres are about...
And in comes the first driver. There we go. Yeah. Mercedes peeling into the pit lane. That is Luke.
It's Luke.
So they are going to lose a couple of places, but I don't think they're going to lose that many. Probably coming out in 6th position or 5th. And they're onto the mediums from the hards. Mediums will probably still get them to the end. And here we go. This is the main question.
Yeah.
Where are they going to come back out on the track?
Well, there's Maxi.
There is a driver coming up.
I'm going to pull the track
No, he's going to keep his position. He's coming to the pits.
Yeah, he has. You're right. There's a track
That's
up
an
there
excellent
now
call.
for everybody to have a look at. Actually, I'll turn it off.
Yeah. That's an excellent call from the Mercedes drivers. Because one of them pit, you can't double stack them because you'll basically just screw each other up. Ooh, that was close. Basically screw each other up. A2 is out.
Lenny.
Whoa, what a move.
Right, Jasper, and that's fresh tyres. Both those drivers.
Yep.
There's the Ferrari coming out just in the background behind that. Maxi was like, you don't want to be behind it or ahead of it. I mean, we want to be in the middle of it, that's for sure right now.
Do these tyres not have a white rim on the inside of them?
That's true.
I just noticed. It was like, you know those moments where you look at an image and go, something isn't quite right here. Well, and they're not. They just look like big chunks of rubber.
The Formula One Codemasters, you learn something new every day.
Yeah. It may just be the hards don't have that, but I know I'm watching on board with one of the Mercedes now, and they definitely have white on them. That's a gorgeous shot. Again, just working on camera sides of things. It's great to see actual
See
good
if
shots.
Max is going to take advantage, of course, on this fresh mediums. 1.3 seconds to change down the road. Will comes in. So does E2. So
Yep, that was smart, and Luke will take the lead again.
you don't mess up the stuck front or right jack there on the Mercedes and do a Bottas, unfortunately, a Bottas situation.
Oh, and A2 had a wing change.
He has a wing change, you're right.
Oh, he might lose the position he has. He might lose the position to Thomas Hardwick.
Yeah, Thomas gone past now.
That's only just. It's only just.
Should be ahead of his teammate Lenny. Here he comes out now.
Yep. Great call by the Mercedes. And I don't know what's going to happen here because Luke is faster. Will is likely to let him through on the next straight. Because Luke's actually having to back off. Like, see, here is where they should let each other through. Because he is faster. That is some team battling. They do not want to give up positions to each other.
You're right. It's game on at Mercedes. Because it's 0 on the scoreboard for everybody in the first race.
Oh, love seeing team battles. Because especially when it's respectful, because they genuinely are racing each other properly. Oh, that is honestly great to see. Oh, here comes the glorious shot again.
Well, I'm on board at the moment there of Will, seeing as the 8th gear. You can hear the beep as the DRS closes. It's game on, absolutely, between them. It's going to have the DRS now. Is it going to be a run, do you think, right now? We're on board with Will?
Yeah, Luke's on the good camera right now. Oh, he was. Shame, it just changed as you changed. As Will goes back through into the lead. This is basically going to be them battling. Blooming out! Right on the wheels, like they are pushing this. I mean, they're basically having fun at this point.
Yeah, but are the nerves of Toto Wolff having fun at the moment and watching them do that? That's going to be the key.
I mean, I'm scared. I'm scared that they are going to hit each other because...
And another battle brewing just to the back there of Jasper there. Maxime did get past. He got past both of them, I'm not mistaken. So making those tyre advantages work well there for the mediums. And setting the fastest lap just to let everybody else know how quick that Ferrari is right now after that pit stop.
Ooh. Jasper going very deep into the first corner.
Yeah, Jasper's struggling, I think, with this racing line turned off that he mentioned. You can see he's just not right on it. But I tell you what, you know that for a fact. Oh, too deep there. But you know for a fact, we were only in the first race, of course, of many to come in the season. He's going to get quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker towards the end of it. And you'll always be a little bit quicker if you can get off that racing line, like the esports drivers. But it just takes a bit of practice. And practice, of course, in racing conditions. It's something you can't really practice too much in time trials. As Luke goes into the pit stops there and gets rid of those boots.
Time trials are not the best way to practice. Hint to any driver out there. They're a great way to learn the track. They're not a great way to practice the track because they will always be. So they will always be the perfect conditions. You never have perfect race conditions.
No, you don't. And besides, you're generally racing in the gearbox of the dirty air of another car too. So which means that your braking points are going to be different. They're not always exactly the same.
Will on Luke, teammate on teammate.
Switcheroo again.
Yep, they're going to keep doing it because it just gives each other the toe. Like, it's a really good strategy to keep your cars going.
It is, unless you make a mistake.
Yeah, they probably should. They won't want to. Let's put it that way. I'm not going to say anything else because I want these to say because they're racing so well.
When you race wheel to wheel like that, it easily, it could be very easy to make a little bit of a mistake, and all of a sudden you've got Mercedes 1-2 out of a race, which you don't want. But they've got a 5.4 second gap to Thomas, who's obviously managed to skip past E2 and get that P4 position. Just to give you a little bit of a recap right there of our position gainers and losers. Look at that Lenny Cook at the moment, my friend. P9, P5 getting 9 positions, but he's 12 seconds and change down the road there. Thomas gaining 2. Not bad there. Of course, our Mercedes drivers are pretty much 1 and 2 anyway, so that's where they started.
There's that gorgeous camera. For you, it's not giving you the gorgeous camera.
It's luck of the draw, my friend. Luck of the draw.
Yeah. But it's still gorgeous with the lower. Like, the thing with Jeddah is it's immensely fast. Like, immensely fast. Which it makes for brilliant camera work, but then again, you got to hire the right people for it.
Yeah.
Because, like, tracking a car's hard at the best of times.
Three
Let alone when they're going
retirements
200.
at the moment. Korsgaard, Peter, and Anton are our retirements and still have 11. So at this point, E2 gets the fastest lap in really putting some pressure down. We'll go over to the Finnish driver.
Absolutely.
So he's really now putting some pressure on Thomas. That's
You're
medium
catching
versus hards, my friend. You know how much more traction you have on those medium tires.
We've probably got another 12 laps left on the tyres, so they're not going to be dropping off anytime soon.
Yeah, about 16%, I have to say, currently. We'll get you some tyre graphics and more fancy graphics you expect here at SwiftX Motorsports in the upcoming races, because unfortunately we don't have Benjamin that used to put on that fantastic production, because Benjamin has to work, sadly. Can't be here to put the production on. So I'll try to do my best. And Scruffy, of course, as a race driver, can give you the information of what's happened in the local yellow flag.
Last round. That's Jan, he's spun.
I don't want to miss this battle, but here we go. Helicopter camera angle. E2, we're on the outside of Thomas. Textbook job done? I have to say so.
No, I don't think it is. Because that's the DRS line. And there comes the move by Thomas Hardwick on
Got it back.
A2 Lapalainen. Brilliant move to gain the position. But the problem is A2's going to have the speed out the final corner and the DRS.
As he did a bit of a tank slap on the wall, but he's okay. No
Going on the
damage.
inside. Oh, that is going to be closer to the corner. A2 taking that position. So we've got two battles going on here, as well as Maximilian Kloss versus Lenny Cook. So it's all to play for in the top 6 right now. Aside from, obviously, I am including the Mercedes, but
Yeah,
you
but
both know they're battling slightly separately from everyone else.
probably in the same chat as well, too, so they'll maybe communicate to each other, but I doubt that some of these drivers will be in the same chat. As Maxi wanting to get it on Lenny. Now, remember, Lenny's probably the biggest gainer so far, so if anybody wants a driver of the day there from Codemasters, it will go to Lenny, but Maxi wants to get these points. He started in P9, so he's gaining. Better take care of those tyres to make him go to the end as well. I think no problems in making those mediums go to the end.
It is immensely close, this race, and I do love that. Just trying to keep an eye on Northern Little Battles, because he's a little bit slow right now, because no one's really within the range to push for position.
That's why you need a little bit of that DRS. Ooh. Lenny, a little bit of a power slide coming out of the corner, so he lost a little bit of time.
I think we're going to see an overtake from Luke on Will, potentially on the back straight. Yep, here we go. Luke on Will. Now, the main question is, what are everyone else going to do? We might see a move by Maximilian Kloss on Lenny Cook. There it is. But that's still there, still in position. That is not going to be let go hard. That's not going to be let go easily. They're going to be side by side down the straight, wheel to wheel. And I think they're going to stay roughly the same, but the car's still to his left. There, they've made it. That is some proper racing from Lenny Cook.
Yeah, considering a little bit older hard tire boots, but making it very, very difficult for Maxime. He says, okay, Maxi, you want to find a way around, mate? Use maximum track limits to get around here. I call him Max. It's Maximilian, but I just call him Maxi. Hey, nothing wrong with having a name Max, of course, in Formula One, right? Yeah.
Oh, exactly. Well, I mean, what do you think Max's full name is? Like, genuinely, that is his full name.
Is it? Max
Yes, I'm pretty
Verstappen's?
sure it is. I'm pretty
Wow.
sure Max Verstappen's full name is Maximilian.
Oh, there you got it. Thank you very much for that. I mean,
You want to know the funniest part? It's not in this way. His name is Max space Emilian. So M-A-X
So I did not know
space
that. After all these years.
E-M-I-L-I-A-N.
Huh.
So his name is Max Emilian Verstappen.
So we're replacing one walking Wikipedia of F1 knowledge with Benjamin, and now another walking Wikipedia of F1 knowledge with Scruffy. Good on you.
I just have a completely random knowledge of just useless facts. That is a good thing sometimes.
Email's in the chat there saying Supermax.
Oh, yeah.
Email, well, if you get a chance, mate, come and pop in, of course. The man that lost by 1 point after a little bit of a retirement.
Oh, we're gonna get a
He's
move.
back in retirement. Other move, as you mentioned, so come over to the chat. Weaving to try to break the slip streaming.
That's going to be close. Not quite close enough.
Oh, exit speed out of the corner is always difficult.
No, they're still going to be close throughout the next few corners, absolutely. As those Mercedes are right back within each other. Not quite close enough to be battling. But the thing with those Mercedes is they are going to come up on the back marker of Jan Schief.
Yeah, we'll have to tell those Mercedes at the moment they go down, run down their EMAR into the Mercedes crew there and tell them just hold off on their overtakes while we can see the action that's occurring on the rest of the track there. Thomas is also on P4, tucked up on the gearbox there of E2 up below. Let's go have a look at Thomas.
We have an email.
Email. Hello, real quick there. How's this race panning? Of course, you've been leading many races before. What do you think about this Mercedes duo? They got this easy one too?
I mean, it's an easy one too if they don't crash into each other. But I hope Luke gets the win today. He got pole and then unlucky. I mean, I don't know why they pitted Luke first because overcut is always stronger around this track.
Yeah, that was the thing I said. They should have pitted second car first.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, at the end of the day, they're going to lose less, but they're going to use a few less positions, but they should get back to the 1-2 later.
Yeah.
There's your tyre graphic on there at the moment. 33% there for Thomas, 28% from Lenny. See, I told you about that one before. And, yeah, that's another thing for tyres. Should not be a problem there, EMAR, for them to go to the end of the race there on those medium tyres. Well, only 3 laps to go. Yeah, it shouldn't be no problems.
Yeah. I think we should talk about Jasper. I think it's very interesting that he's P7 now after he had a dominant season last season.
It's because he's not using the racing line, he told me.
And
he's really
5
struggling.
seconds.
Yeah, with a penalty as well. But
We've got Joshua Bashford catching up.
That's true.
On Jasper.
There's Joshua. I don't know if he's going to have enough time, 1.6 seconds, unless Jasper makes a little bit of an issue. If he doesn't, and Bashford gets a penalty, and that puts him in, well, there it is, 8 seconds, but for Jasper, he's got a stop-go penalty, believe it or not. He has served that one. Joshua's got 6, so I think Joshua might very much get that position, but further back, let's have a look at Thomas. Let's try to do something about E2. That's going to be the key. And Will, of course, well, that's the thing. Will and Luke, it's who wants to win the race between them, because it is definitely race on, and we're going to find out very soon between them.
Maximilian Kluss as well is going to be tracking down Lenny Cook with the DRS. He's definitely gaining. I'm not too sure whether he's getting enough by the corner. That's getting very, very, very close. And there's definitely going to be enough space on the main straight, I think, to catch past that car. This is going to be... What a weave! That's a brilliant move to break the toe. Completely and utterly failed because Maximilian was ready. And that might be a forced error. This is going to be a very, very close move. A2 Lapalainen, though, with a 3-second time penalty. That is big.
That is
that right now?
That is big. That's dropped him. That's Thomas's place, for sure.
Yep, for now. That is if A2 cannot pull a bigger gap. Which, to be fair, Thomas is on older tyres, but then again, A2's on the mediums, 8 laps old. So, roughly in the same position. If anything, it's ball in Thomas Hardwick's court.
A2B out there, never seen this league before, love it already. Thank you very much. So hit us, give us a like and subscribe if you do like it by NordVPN. This is our first race of the season. You get to see more of those. Further back at the moment, look at our new German driver there for the Alfa Romeo. Tucked up right on the back there of Luke. That's a battle for P9, of course, crucial points. You get points. Those positions for sure. Might have to go back to continue to the maximum class making it. And there's a change between the leaders.
Whoa, that's so close. See, the thing is, they're battling, but they know they can't make mistakes. They know they can't. They are battling hard, but I'm starting to wonder whether they are caring about the mistakes at this point, because that was close.
This is what Emil said as before, of course. Emil that was our runner-up. Yeah. Go for it, but the biggest damage is the problem right now is taking each other out or doing some sort of damage. They're worried too much about that themselves. Let's go. Who wants it? Luke or Will? Up to you guys. 7-second gap to P3, so you should be okay. Unless you're both in the fence, then you might not be.
Exactly. It is Slightly nerve-wracking because they've only got almost a lap remaining. And that's why they're pushing so hard. But the problem is, it's no use racing this hard if both of you are out on the final lap. It's like they've really got to push for this. Maximilian Kloss is still not close enough to Lenny Cook to do too much damage to that gap.
Here we go.
Niels.
Another run.
Oh, there we go. But the thing is, that's before the DRS line.
So Luke's going to come back here.
Whoa!
Oh, no.
No, Luke had an error. And that will put him really far back on Will. Now, Will, as much as he's Luke's teammate, does probably need to capitalise on that.
Keeping us entertained on the final lap of the race. So keep an eye. There's also Lenny Cook at maximum going for it. Maxi.
Oh, here comes. He's got to make the move. He's got to. Oh, that is a brilliant move by Maximilian Kloss.
Job done.
Love to see it.
So waited for the final lap of the race, but now under a DRS attack.
Oh, there's the move, and easily done. Switch back across. Now, I don't think Luke's within the DRS, but I don't quite think he's got the gap. There's a yellow flag of a car going slowly ahead of the Mercedes. Let's hope that the car of Jan Chief does not hinder the two arrows here, because that will not be good. And here we go. They're staying perfectly off the line. That's what you love to see. But there are more cars, of course, to come through. Now, why are they going slowly? That is Niels Scheffner. Now, he is letting drivers through, I think. Oh, no, that is a... He's got to go off the track for that.
Yeah, I just don't want to miss the action, of course, with these Mercedes. You can keep his
Absolutely
on that one. Yes, Will's going to make his way around the final corner there. Luke's a little bit tucked up behind. Call this one there, Scruffy, for the final.
That is absolutely it. Will has to come across the line for the checkered flag. First 1-2 for the Mercedes of the season. Will Casson, first win of the season. A2 Lapalainen is going to come across the line. And unfortunately, when Thomas Hardwick does, they will drop down to 4th. Lenny Cook and Maximilian Kloss next. Maximilian Kloss very, very close, but I don't quite think it's enough unless there is a major mistake from the Aston Martin ahead. There is not. Lenny Cook coming along the straight now to take 5th place. Maximilian Kloss behind, moving on to Jasper ten Haken coming across the line. And the main question, of course, is the difference in penalties. I don't think it's enough to make a difference, but it is. That's enough of a penalty. That was a 5-second time penalty unserved from Jasper ten Haken, which pushes them down into 8th. And then, obviously, we only have Luke ten Brinker to finish the race. I don't think any penalties are going to make a difference to that.
No, 37 seconds for him. So
the other drivers are lapped, so their laps finish.
He'll get some points, no doubt. Mr. Will has got it done. So a switcheroo between the Mercedes has started on the front row. Luke was started in pole. Will started in P2, and Will made his way around into P1, the Battle of the Mercs. So... yeah, they don't want to be the number one driver, but at the moment, he is the number one driver with the most amount of points, as Will wins the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
And what a win that was. An exceptional win. And Lenny Cook deserves the driver of the day, quite frankly, for the battles that they had. Although, personally, I think if you're going to give drivers of the day, it goes to half the grid.
Yeah, true. Luke, Lenny got it from P14 up into P5, but here we go. It's the top step of the podium, and it's the walk of not shame, but the walk of pride. As Mercedes are back, and they're back on the top step for the first race here of SwiftX Series 2, Round 1, sponsored by NordVPN, and it's all yours, Will Casson, the race victor.
And genuinely, that was a really good starting race. It's about as best as you can hope for.
Yeah, only a few retirements, no safety cars.
Yeah.
No safety
and that's
cars.
rare. That is rare around Jeddah, and especially since the Mercedes said there would probably be a safety car. But here we go. This gives us our final grid for the race. First place, top step of the podium is Will Casson, followed in second by Luke Franklin, and third is Thomas Hardwick. 4th is A2 Lapalainen, and 5th is Lenny Cook, rounding out the top 5. Next drivers, Maximilian Kloss in 6th, Joshua Basford in 7th, Jasper ten Haken in 8th, Luke ten Brinker in 9th, and Niels Scheffner rounding out the top 10, followed by Jan Chief, Gustav Korsgaard, Peter Lucker, and Anton Larsen rounding out the grid. 3 DNFs, Gustav, Peter, and Anton.
And no doubt, absolutely fantastic. We're going to have to hear from these drivers now in the interview room. They're in the cool down room. Scruffy, take it away. You can pull anybody you like in here right now and give it a shot.
I'm going to bring the two Mercs in.
ACC, but like you need to.
There we go. You're both in.
How are we?
Oh, well, what a race from you two. I can't deny that. That was close. Let's put it that way. There were definitely some proper battles. I mean, I'm assuming the conversation there between you two was just race. In the final few laps there, well, most of the race, to be honest, was just race.
It was very chilled out, actually, between us.
It did. The thing is, I got that feeling from it. It was just like you knew where the limit was and you weren't stepping over it.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's what I took for that. But yeah, genuinely, I mean, my main question is what was the decision behind the first car going in rather than the second on the pits? Or was that just a choice in the moment?
Yeah, it was literally at the start of the race. That's what was chosen. And so, yeah,
Okay.
I went first and Cass went second.
Fair play. Biggles.
Yeah, team orders at play, but not really. Good to see some great battling. Scripted kind of perfectly as well, too, because we had lots of other battles on track as well, too, so I was kind of hoping you guys would just time it so that once their battles were done, you can go back to resuming your battles, because nothing separating you two guys apart from half a second during the whole race. Fastest lap did go to Luke, so he did steal that additional point away from you, Will, but you got the race win. Are you guys looking forward to the next race? Are you going to be looking at this Mercedes domination again? 1-2, perhaps?
Well,
I mean,
it's Azerbaijan next, so I don't know. We'll see.
Are we going to see side-by-side cars going through the castle section then?
Definitely not.
I mean, we can attempt it if you want.
We do want to see it, yes. If it's possible.
Okay. It's Mercedes double DNF next race.
Oh.
It's definitely.
Yeah, I'd be careful saying that too loud, mate. You might not have a Mercedes seat in the next race if you shout that one out. So there we have it. Congratulations. Anything you want to shout out to anybody out there that are listening and supporting you guys out there for the Mercedes team, apart from Toto Wolff?
Yeah, Amir, suck my balls.
Oh, yeah. We got that one on there. All right. You should drag Emar in here. He was chatting to us in the booth. We can get him to respond to that one.
I will switch
Scruffy,
out.
Yeah. So,
Thanks very much, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Great racing.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you very much.
All
There we
right.
go.
Emar, you're in. They said, did you hear that? I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah, I heard it.
Shots are fired, mate, out there, even though you weren't driving. But your recap on this race?
That just shows that I live in his head rent-free because I'm too good that I had to retire. My thoughts on this race, I think you can tell they're amateurs. Luke Franklin pitting first, where overcut is strong. Like, even if the commentator knows the overcut is stronger, then you know you have made a mistake. And then, I don't know, Cass made a few mistakes, won the race. You know, when I win races, I don't make mistakes. But I think overall, it was much better than last season Saudi, because last season Saudi, I took half the grid out. So I think it was a good race to watch.
Were you using Racing Line or not?
Oh, I'm not racing. I've never used. I mean, I have used Racing Line, but I didn't do it last season.
All right, then you are truly a very, very quick driver, no doubt about that one.
And
then Jasper, I mean, you could see. I mean, he's our last season's champion. He was really, really struggling, but he did say that he was going to struggle. It's difficult, isn't it, when you take that Racing Line off and in the traffic you can see, like, you know, following a car in the dirty air, you're braking at completely different points, aren't you, than what you would usually be, and you're not looking at the line anymore. You're looking at the braking markers and everything else around. Any tips for him? You think?
Drive more.
Okay.
More races. It will come with time. I guess my first race was it was actually Australia last season. My first race without line.
And is it good to practice? Obviously, this is what we're talking about in the casting box as well, too, because, you know, driving by yourself time trials without a racing line, okay, it's one thing, but when you have cars and traffic and tire degradation, all that sort of jazz, it's different, isn't it? So you've got to practice about the racing line in racing conditions, but open lobbies aren't really the best way to do it either, are they? Because, you know, you get people just mad and just take each other out.
Yeah, I just used to do some races against AI, and that was it.
All right, so that's a good pointer out there for everybody else then, considering you are. All right. Fantastic.
AI racing is a really good tactic, to be fair, because you actually get proper sort of practice against drivers that aren't going to massively ram you off the track, but they'll still give you a run for your money. That's for certain.
And run for your money. Well, you're going to be running. Thank you in the chat as well, too, because I like to see some new chatters in there. And if you want to be a part of the league, of course, you can hit all the buttons to subscribe up the Discord, chat to the beautiful community that are here. They're here to help. And even like, as Ema had mentioned before, too, they're here to help even as drivers. You're going to ask questions how to drive quicker. Ask these drivers. Sorry, guys. And if you're busy, you're not maybe busy or not. You might have all these fans out there asking you questions, but the community here at Swift will do that for you. Speaking of what we're going to be doing, Scruffy, you did a fantastic job here for your first casting, stepping in some big shoes there from Ben. That's right, it's Scruffy, not Scruffy. And calendar, my friend, where are we heading to next? Well, right there on the screen. Baku, as they mentioned, the castle section. And what's your favorite part about this track, Scruff?
Well, as you just said, honestly, the castle section, but not necessarily the castle section. The section starting from the castle section all the way to the final corners. That's probably my favorite section because you can overtake, but you've got to have some real guts to do so.
Yeah.
The rest of the track is a little bit Tilker, 90-degree left, 90-degree right, 90-degree left. That's.
And how do you defend against that DRS down the almighty powerful straight, of course, where you reach one of the highest speeds in Formula 1 that you can get on any track?
Exactly. It's you can't, is generally my point. Is the smartest decision is generally move off the line. If you move off the line, the other driver has to follow you, and you can put them in a slightly worse position.
Like the weaving we just saw a little bit towards the end there, at Jeddah?
Exactly.
Okay.
It's basically, don't necessarily worry too much about the fact that the driver's going to overtake you. Worry about where they're going to be when they overtake you, is how I would generally put that. Because if they're on the outside of you going into that first corner, well, they have an advantage. So if you're on the outside, they've got to send it down the inside.
Absolutely right.
Not a nice place to be.
Same place, same network, same time. This time next week, of course, round 2 will be a place, of course, and then Hungary and Portugal. You just had the roller coaster ride starting in February. But for now, we'll have to be ending this SwiftX series. Of course, eShop Nordic. We'll talk a little bit more about with email next week. I think about that. That's putting on one of those other fantastic sponsors, as well as our other fantastic sponsors of Digital Motorsports and everybody else, of course, that puts on ELINT there, and NordVPN, of course, is one of our priority sponsors, the fastest VPN on the planet. Scruffy, final words before we let everybody have a lay down.
Bring on Baku, to be honest.
Bring on Baku. Excellent. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Give us a shout out. Give us a bit of a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe and like. We like that. Support the team and the community here at SwiftX. Good night, everybody. Take care. Stay safe.
Good night, everyone.
It's timeless. I hate you, drama.